So, today we're talking about a place that's pretty much the definition of paradise, the Maldives. I mean, you've seen the pictures, right? But what if I told you that all that breathtaking beauty, those crystal clear waters, they're hiding a really scary secret, an urgent threat that could literally wipe this entire country off the map?
I mean, really, think about it. What if your whole country, everything you know, could just vanish within your lifetime? Sounds like a disaster movie, right? Well, for the people of the Maldives, it's not a movie. It's a terrifying possibility they live with every single day. This is the story of their fight for their home.
Okay, so to really get why they're in so much trouble, we first have to talk about what makes the Maldives so special in the first place. You know, it's not just some random island. It's this incredible geological wonder. People often call it a string of pearls just floating in the Indian Ocean, and honestly, that's a perfect description. Get this. The Maldives is made up of almost 1,200 islands. Yeah, 1,199 to be exact. I mean, can you even picture that? All these tiny little specks of land, all part of one single country. It's a kind of geography you just don't see anywhere else on the planet.
But here's the crazy part. You hear 1,200 islands and you think it must be massive, right? Nope. All of that land put together is just 300 square kilometers. That's tiny. It actually makes the Maldives the smallest country in all of Asia. So you've got this huge number of islands packed into a super small area. It's a total paradox.
So you're probably wondering, how does that even work? Well, the secret ingredient is something called an atoll. The islands are all grouped together in these 26 big clusters, or atolls. And an atoll is basically this amazing ring of coral reef. So the very ground they stand on was built by tiny living things over thousands of years. It's what makes it so beautiful, but also, as we're about to see, so incredibly fragile. And of course, all of this unique geology is what creates that picture-perfect image we all have in our heads. We're talking heavenly beaches, those insane blue lagoons, fancy resorts. It's no surprise it's been voted one of the best destinations on Earth. This is the Maldives that we all know and dream about. But it's so much more than just a place to go on vacation. This is a real country with a deep, rich history. I mean, people have been living on these tiny little islands for almost 3,000 years. They've built a totally unique culture from all the different people who've settled there over the centuries. Their story is this amazing mix of influences from all over the world. Okay, so quick history lesson. It all starts way back, like the 4th or 5th century BC, when the first people came over from southern India and Sri Lanka. Then, fast forward to the 12th century AD, and you've got traders coming from East Africa and the Arab world. This was a huge deal because it led to the whole country converting from Buddhism to Sunni Islam. After that, they had a short stint of Portuguese rule, about 15 years in the 16th century. Then, for a long time, they were a British colony. And all of that history finally leads up to 1968, when they officially became the Republic of Maldives we know today.
So that's the backstory. A beautiful place with a long, fascinating history. But that all brings us to right now, and a really dangerous present. Because that same unique geography we talked about, the thing that makes the Maldives so stunning, is also its greatest weakness. They are, quite literally, on the front lines of the climate crisis.
All right, you need to let this next fact sink in. The Maldives isn't just one of the lowest countries in the world. It is the lowest country on Earth, period. No other nation on the entire planet is closer to sea level. So what does the lowest actually mean? Well, the average height of the land across all of those 1,200 islands is just 1.5 meters. To put that in perspective, that's about the height of your refrigerator. Think about that. An entire country that's as tall as a kitchen appliance. It's wild.
And here's the really terrifying part. There's no high ground. No hills, no mountains, nothing. The highest natural spot in the entire country is only 2.3 meters. So when the sea level rises, there is literally nowhere to run, nowhere to escape. You can't just climb to higher ground because there isn't any. And look, this isn't some far-off what-if scenario. They've already had a horrifying glimpse into their future. Remember the devastating tsunami in 2004? It slammed into the Maldives, and those massive waves just washed right over entire islands, flooding places that were supposed to be safe and dry. It was a terrifying preview of what rising seas could do permanently. So, when you're facing a threat that could literally erase your country from existence, what do? The Maldivian government knew that just sending out press releases wasn't going to cut it. No, they had to do something so bold, so completely unforgettable, that the rest of the world would be forced to sit up and listen. I mean, they're already planning for the absolute worst-case scenario. The government has actually started looking into buying land in nearby countries. We're talking places like India or Australia as a potential new home for their entire population if the islands go underwater. Just try to wrap your head around that for a second. Having to make plans to move your entire country, it's unthinkable. And all of this led to one of the most incredible acts of political protest I've ever heard of. It was a move born from pure creative desperation. In 2009, to show the world exactly what was at stake, the president of the Maldives and his entire cabinet did something no government had ever done before. They held their official meeting underwater. Seriously, just picture it. You've got all the government ministers, decked out in full scuba gear. They're sitting at desks that have been set up on the ocean floor, about 5 meters deep, in this stunning blue lagoon. They used hand signals to talk to each other, and they actually signed a real document down there. It was pure political theater, but with the highest stakes imaginable. And the message they sent was impossible to miss. They were basically saying, hey world, look, this isn't just a stunt. This is what our future looks like if you don't cut your carbon emissions. This is where we're headed. It was a desperate plea for help, an SOS sent from the very bottom of the sea. So they sent their message from under the sea in the most dramatic way they possibly could. But it leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? Can a message like that actually change the world? Were we, the rest of the world, actually listening? And more importantly, will we act before this incredible string of pearls disappears beneath the waves for good?